But I knew for a fact if I would have come here, that would probably be the end of my life. The guy went back into the car and he picked up a gun, and I saw him pick up the gun from nearly being locked up for 6.5 years. And when I was obviously in that cell and obviously had a reflection of my life, and I remember getting on my knees and made that sincere prayer to God to say, like, if you get me out of this life, I promise I will just stop. Yeah, so growing up in Brixton, especially I moved here back in 1994, and Brixton obviously that time was quite rough. Brixton, Tows Hill, surrounding areas, Herne Hill was like a very rough area. It was busy, very loud, busy. There's always something happening. There's always some action or drama on the streets. There's always people having drawn your attention. I think we even had some nail bombs here back in the days. But yeah, I used to be around here all the time. You've got St Matthew's Estate over there. You've got St Matthew's Church there. But it's funny, like even that church, you think it's a church, but underneath there was a nightclub. And I never understood that, how you have a church and then underneath you have a nightclub. And obviously just growing up around this area, it was a struggle for me, obviously coming here from Guyana, coming here to live with my family, expecting to have a better life, but not knowing I was coming here and I was literally mistreated by my stepmom and my dad. I struggled through life. As I said, my stepmom used to give my sister money to take me and my brother training shopping. She used to take my brother to Foot Locker and buy him trainers from Foot Locker, but then yet she would give my sister money to go to the guy who was selling second-hand trainers in the market. I remember it used to hurt me as a child because I thought, hold on, how come he's having the trainers from Foot Locker and I'm getting the trainers from the guy in the market store for a 50p pair of used Reebok Classic? And obviously these things went on for years, and like it's things like this what entices a young person to get involved with street life, gangs and stuff, because if your family can't provide the simple things for you like that, and obviously people are offering these things for you outside, you wanna get hold of these things, you wanna make the most of it. And obviously these are those type of things that draw me to the street life, because I never got that love, that support, attention from my family. So I sought it outside where I felt more loved and appreciated. Even though they're my friends, they're not my family, but they felt like a family. And this is why a lot of young people get involved with gangs and stuff like that. Like my dad, he never financially supported me throughout life. I remember being kicked out from my family's house, and my stepmom gave me my bank card with only £2.38. So imagine you being an adult young man having only £2.38 in your bank account. It was crazy. I remember coming back from my family's house one day, and I literally came off at this bus stop here, on the 159 bus, and there was some boys that recognised me from a few years prior, and they literally chased me, literally down the road. But as you can see just over here where this tree is, there was about, 35, 40 boys, all blacked out. And this time these boys would have had knives on them. I'm sure one or two of them probably would have had a gun or something on them. But they were all literally waiting here. So they expected me to come and literally join them here. But I knew for a fact if I would have come here, that would probably be the end of my life. But as I said, this was like a major milestone of my life, working here for quite a few years. Saw a lot of issues happening here. There was always a lot of drama around this area as well. Just down here was another story I'll probably share with you guys in a minute, which was another, obviously, story where I had to literally rescue two of my friends from being shot just down the road, and I used to live just down there in an estate as well. This is one of the estates I used to live on for a short time, Edmondsbury Estate. And I remember one of the altercations I had with two of my friends who was in a car driving on this road. And as you can see, this road is literally like one car at a time. But not knowing as we was driving down there was two gang members from one of the biggest gangs that was in Brixton at that time, called PDC, who was literally in a car coming up this way. So literally, no one didn't want to give way. So it was like a situation where we all stepped out the car to say, like, listen, we've got the right way. The guy went back into the car and he picked up a gun, and I saw him pick up the gun. All three of us could probably got shot there, and that would have been another story. You heard the three young guys being shot, some gun violence. But as I said, that was me having an opportunity. When I look back and reflect now, like I not only saved myself, but my two friends' lives, and obviously saved everyone in total from from things escalating and being something even more worse. I think I was doing this. This is what I was doing. That was crazy. But yeah, we were just literally sitting there doing nonsense, and this was meant to be our church. And I was literally living a life, doing nonsense, crime and stuff like that, and coming and sitting here on Sunday mornings. And it was just crazy because I thought, like, I can't be this can't be life. Like, what type of Christian am I? Living in, coming in here on Sundays. Literally the day before I was here, on my 21st birthday, literally I could have been dead the day before, the night before, but yeah, I came and I was sitting in here in the church. Obviously that life went on for a while, and I kept on searching for something, wanting more, and I realised, like, this is not for me. Like, I've been going there for all these years, but no one knows what's happening in my life, what I'm doing, and it was just crazy. Nearly being locked up for 6.5 years, and when I was obviously in that cell and obviously had a reflection of my life, and I remember getting on my knees and made that sincere prayer to God to say, like, if you get me out of this life, I promise I will just stop. And I did sincerely, like, step away from the street life, but sometimes when you're in that life, it's hard to come out of it completely, because there's always things or people. Because even when I told my friends that I wanted to come out of that life, they were like shocked, because they thought, he can't, because obviously I kept them together, I kept that unity with them, and they were shocked, like, to see, oh, you're the one that's, like, leading us. How can you step away from this? And it was a decision I had to make, because I knew if I didn't make that decision, then I would have probably been trapped. It was a major part of my life, because obviously back then I used to have long hair and stuff like that. I remember like one of the last times when I literally finally decided to cut my hair off, I was in there with a barber, and my barber, Robert, said to me, "You sure you want to cut your hair?" Like, because he wasn't sure, because he knew, like, I loved my hair and it was long and stuff like that. And I literally remember sitting on the seat, and he cut it, and I felt like a piece of my life went. Like, but when I looked back then and thought about it now, it's like that was like a big attachment in my life, my hair. So cutting it off and getting rid of it, and like literally, like, it's like I felt like a relief, something lifted off me. I remember even taking off my earrings. I had both of my ears pierced. Just that initial whole thing, taking the earrings off, that was like a big step for me as well. And just obviously just started learning. Obviously I had a lot of friends who were Muslims at that time. I remember I was working in Peckham, one of my good friends, Saeed, who was a Muslim, always used to speak to him, and I remember he said to me one day, "You're going to be a Muslim one day." And I smiled. I never said no or nothing, I smiled. And as time went by, I just started learning about stuff. I said I always loved, like, the way he had 5 daily prayers and stuff, because I remember being a Christian, like, praying wasn't really so much. It was more when you're in the church on the Sundays, but all the other days you were just living your life, and it's like, that's it. And I thought I needed something more. And as I said, eventually I got literally lost the love for the church. I never saw that spark, that connection. Like, even people that knew me, like, they saw that you're not the same person, you're not as happy as how you used to be, because obviously as well my family situation at the time was not good. Eventually, like, I came across and I heard about the Jamaat back in 2019, and then that's when I started doing research on YouTube, and then I came across the Jalsa Salana, and I think one of my first encounter with the Jamaat was watching the Bayat Summit with Azuru and all the members, and that just drew my attention, because I saw that unity, and it's just literally just sitting there watching that, it just made me feel like there's something that's missing, and I just felt that connection, because I saw that connection with everyone had connected to the Khalifa at the time. And I remember just watching that, as I said, and it was just so, I can just see, like, there was, it's like, just God was saying, like, this is where you need to be. This is like the unity and the brotherhood. It's like something I've never experienced, and that's just me watching it from a screen. So I remember saying to myself, I don't want to end the year and start this new year without getting involved with the Jamaat. And then that's when I finally was out. I think it was in Guildford one time, and I met Nasser Orchard.
Oh, walaikum salam. How are you doing?
Long time. Had time where we could sit down and discuss stuff and talk, which was nice, because obviously not having a father figure around, I saw Nasser as a father figure to me, and it was nice to.
I thought it was your brother. Am I that old looking?
It was nice being able to speak to him, and obviously just having that support. And obviously I respected him so much. As I said, he was a very great example.
What I believe is through the prayers how this has all happened. But the good thing was I contacted you straight away afterwards, and we decided to meet near Baitul Fitu, and I was near where you used to live.
Yeah.
And so we came down there. Then the next step was to introduce you to Bajwa Sahib, who's a local missionary.
So this is where my journey started. This is where I first came, the first mosque I actually visited, and this is the Baitul Fitu Mosque, as you can see in Morden. And this is where I was having my weekly classes with Imam Bajwa. Things that he taught us about what Islam Ahmadiyya teaches you about, like it kind of opened my eyes and shocked me. And obviously I saw a different side to Islam, a different community, and something that I wanted to be a part of.
Yes, I have been seeing you here in the mosque several times, and mashallah, you are progressing well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I have seen Life-Sherwain, and since he has joined the Jamaat, he has learnt the prayer, the Muslim prayer, and many a time I have seen him here coming to the mosque and offering the prayer like all other people. So he has learnt everything, from beginning, from zero to, in fact, I should say, how to do the wuzu, then how to, offer the prayer, and what are the words of the prayer, what are the etiquettes of the mosque. So it's a quite big thing to learn everything, but he has done. Then he has also started learning the Holy Quran and reading the books of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He is paying contribution for the progress of Islam, as like all other Ahmadi Muslims.
As you know, in Islam, marriage is a significant part of your life as well, and is a certain completion of your journey. And Huzuru gave me a blessing to get married, and I was able to do my nikah here in Fazl Mosque, and it's been a true blessing. So this is where I literally had my first virtual Molekad with Huzuru, and this was like the beginning of 2022, and it was just like amazing, just obviously connecting to Huzuru at the time, and just seeing him greeting us and welcoming us to the Jamaat Ahmadiyya, and it was just like amazing. And obviously a few of us got to ask questions at that time. Assalamu alaikum, Huzuru. What advice would you give to a new Ahmadi for building a close relationship with God?
You see, first thing is you try to learn the words of the prayers, and especially Surah Fatiha. Try to learn it in Arabic and then the meaning of it. And while praying, you should also try to offer your 5 daily prayers, and if possible in congregation. Apart from that, you offer nafals, extra prayers, right? And pray to Allah Ta'ala that He give you the strength to be firm in your faith. And just seek Allah's help in this regard. So never ever leave any prayer. Make it a point that 5 daily prayers are obligatory and you have to offer them. And try to offer these prayers very fervently. And when you are bowing down, you are in sajda position, then you should cry and seek Allah's help. So then within months, you will see change in yourself. Right?
Yes. Jazakallah.
Okay, Allah Ta'ala bless you.
And obviously it was a blessing just to have that advice, and obviously hearing that, taking that on board, and it's something I've implemented in my life since he's given me that advice. Then I had my actual mullah card with him, and that was a blessing. Obviously, meeting him in person, greeting him. Obviously, he's asked me how I'm doing, what do I do with my life. Like for example, where I'm working, my family situation and stuff like that. And it was just very welcoming. Like, I think for me, it was overwhelming just looking at that's our leader, someone that I can look up to as a close connection to God, who's guiding us and helping us along the path and to righteousness. It was just a blessing just being in his presence, just seeing his warm smile that lit up the room. The message I will say to the youth is like, don't be conformed to the things of this world. Like, because remember, all these things you have around you is temporary. So I realized quickly that I was missing something in my life because I thought I needed that love and attention from my friends and people outside. So I thought me going out there, because I wasn't getting this from my family at home, that was going to make me better, make me happier. But that happiness you get there is temporary. It doesn't last forever. There was times I'll be in my house, I'll be by myself, and I feel empty, I feel so lonely, I feel like I was locked in a dark room. That's how it felt. Because when you're with your friends, you feel that joy, that excitement, that hype, that buzz, because you're doing stuff, you guys are mucking around. Yes, it feels all good at that time. But when you're by yourself, reality kicks in, then you realize. And this is one thing a lot of young people go through. It's only when they're by themselves, they realize, what am I doing? And they question themselves. You have to think, like, as much as I never had a big communication, a big relationship with God, I always knew someone was there. And I always I kept praying. Even though I didn't know what was happening, but all the time God was protecting me, He was guiding me, He was helping me along the line. And it's only until later on in the years, as time went by, I reflected on things that happened in my life, and it showed me that God was protecting me and guiding me all this time. And He gave me these chances to be here today, to talk to you guys, to help you. And obviously now, even being in the mosque, like, it's just opened up my eyes to so much more. Like, having that connection with God, being able to pray 5 times a day and even more, and just being united together with my brothers is a blessing. Like, it's something that you as I said before, I was empty and I was always like searching. I felt like I was in a dark room. I don't feel like that no more, because anytime anything was to come, like, I always remember God's there. God's guided me. He's helped me throughout life. Like, imagine I'm someone who never had the best education, never had a family around there, got involved with these gangs and stuff like that, almost ended up in prison for 6.5 years. But God saved me from all these things. He's put me in the right places with the right people, and He's progressed me to do good stuff to help other young people like yourself, and obviously strive forward. Like, my relationship with God is much more better now. I don't feel empty inside. I don't feel cold. I don't have no bitterness. Regardless of what my family members have done to me in the past, I don't have no grudges against them. Like, people see me now and I walk down the road and they have respect for me. Like, I have that relationship with them that is respectful, and it's something that you can have as well.
You're watching The God Summit,